if a guy calls you hot, it means he's looking at your body, right? If a guy calls you beautiful, it means he's looking at your eyes. If a guy calls you gorgeous, it means he's looking at your soul. But all three guys are just trying to smash. They're all trying to smash. They're all the same thing. They're just going about it in a way that they know you will like more.
I think women throughout the centuries have always been enticed by men who they are on the inside, less about who they are on the outside.
I agree with that.
Most people don't want to talk about their like current relationship, so if you're comfortable about it, you could talk about it, but otherwise we could talk about your exes.
Oh, love that. What a two great choices. Both men and women, or just humans in general, want what they can't have always. I'm gonna choose like the faith, and I'm gonna choose something that seems more rooted in like
imagination.
Yeah.
Imagination? No, it's faith. It's faith.
Yeah, not
Space.
imagination.
Faith
but
would be imagination.
No.
What would you say are your current sins?
I don't even know. I've stolen in my life.
You did what?
Stolen, like shoplifted in my life in high school. I mean, another sin would probably be sex before marriage.
Ton of that.
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. I'm your host, Zach Evans, along here with my co-host, Mohammed Molai. And first of all, thank you to all of our listeners. We've been getting a ton of growth and engagement over the last few weeks, and we got to thank all of you guys out there for that. Today, we got a couple special guests on the show. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves to the audience? Let's do name, what you do, and your star sign, and we'll start with you.
Okay, my name is Ari. I am an assistant right now, but I'm always doing, anything and everything. And my sign is a Cancer. I don't
Beautiful.
know.
I thought you were going to say my name is Ari, and I'm an Aries.
I wish. I know. That would make a lot more sense.
Well, my name is Lane Griffith. I am 23 years old, and I work as the CEO of a hair care and skincare company, and then I also am an artist, painter, oil painter, and then I try to do some acting as well after the strike, but that's developing right now. Yeah.
And star sign.
Star sign. I'm a Gemini.
Oh, shit.
I know Geminis are supposed to be crazy. All my friends that are Geminis are a little bit
I think everyone's crazy.
I didn't believe in star signs until I met Geminis, and over, I'm like, toxic, bad for my mental health, fun, but also toxic. Not in a bad way, by the way. I used to be very toxic back in my villain era, but now I'm very shy and romantic, of course, but back in the day,
Right.
We actually needed you like a week and a half ago.
What was it, the Gemini day?
No, the hair transplant stuff.
Really, what happened?
So my friend brings this new guy she's seeing, and I asked the guy, I was like, we're talking, and like, definitely looks like older, right? Like she's probably like 22 or something. Like he looks like he's like 50 or something. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm 39. And I'm like, you're either lying to me or you have the worst skincare routine in the history of mankind. Like his face looked uncircumcised. Like I don't even know, like his hairline was sprinting away from his eyeballs at like maximum velocity. I was like,
Yeah.
this dude needs a first class ticket to Turkey and fucking ASAP.
Well, yeah. I mean, people like men are usually not one to pick up the skincare stuff. I mean, you guys probably do because you seem like
but not
this,
till
yeah.
LA. Like in Wisconsin, they'd be like, skincare? What are you, gay?
Yeah.
Like
so my brand, I'm like trying to definitely make it more of a unisex thing where it makes men feel, it's like it's okay to want to take care of your skin, and it's not going to be pink and sparkly and smell like strawberries, but it's gonna really get the job done. So especially for the hairline, the hair growth serum is really, really working for a lot of people.
So does it regrow, or it just stops the the fallout, or does it regrow it?
No, it just makes all your hair fall out.
No, I'm saying does it stop the fallout? Like yes, some of them, yes. I heard they only stop it, but if you're already bald, you're fucked. Does this one regrow it too?
So yeah, there's caffeine, biotin, turmeric, and each one of those, one of them stops the fall, and then one of them regrows of it. So caffeine really works with the follicles to help regrow it.
Interesting.
So I'll talk to that guy.
Crazy. What the skincare saying? Does it get rid of the wrinkles and everything?
Yeah, it would take some time. You need to, really integrate it into your routine, but it's really effective. So.
And what are the ingredients for that one that makes
There's
it? There's
one that's snail mucin, that's big right now. Everyone
I know,
going
I've
crazy about
used
this
it.
now. You probably have this now.
Yeah, I have. I like it.
There's a hyaluronic acid serum, a retinol serum. They're all serums. So it's like a little cute little bottle. So
Interesting. I gotta tell this guy about this. His forehead looks like it's like connected to the Wi-Fi. I'm like, dude, you need fucking skincare. You need some vitamin C or some shit, or Botox maybe, or retinol or something like that.
I'm a big Botox supporter. Really? Like I don't have a ton of it. I'll get it here and there whenever I see like wrinkles or whatever.
I don't see a single.
No,
one
I don't
on
see
your
a
face.
one.
What do you mean?
That's why I'm a Botox
Because of the
supporter.
Botox.
I love
working.
Botox. I love it. Yeah, every guy that I've ever talked to, like I would tell them like get Botox, and they would.
I did hear that I saw this one lady on a TED Talk talking about how Botox stops the transmitters in your brain to process certain emotions and like empathy. Did you guys see that?
No.
You saw that?
I
was like,
that's such a lie. I'm
Is
always
it?
crying.
I don't know. I know some
Always
people
crying.
who have Botox that I think something fucked up in their brain, but I don't know if they're just always like that or if the Botox caused it. You know what I mean?
I think they're just like that.
Maybe.
Because I feel like there's a stereotype of people that like are really into like injectables and injections and whatever cosmetics, and then there's the people that get it that are like very low key and nonchalant about it. And some people do have just like I don't know, they're high heads. What is that term? Like they're on their high horses or something. I don't know. They're just not humble. They're not nice. And so some people are like that. And I just don't see how Botox can affect your brain. Because it's a needle going on like your skin surface level.
Yeah, I don't know about none.
What's the toxins you're putting into your bloodstream?
Yeah. Same with like food. Like if you're eating like Red 40, like that will really mess you up. So.
I don't know. I drink
but
tap
I'm just
water.
gonna be
I heard
oblivious
about
and
that.
pretend it's not gonna mess me up because I'm probably gonna get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of that stuff is just like people watch 2 TikTok videos and they just use big words like contamination. And then
That's the big
I've been drinking tap water since I was a baby. And I turned out just fine. I never get
Tap
sick.
waters?
I literally, my immune system is fucking strong. Like,
Yeah,
that shit has been
that's good.
training for years. And I see all these little Gen Z, oh, I need to drink water out of my bottle. You know who the people who first drank bottled water? Fucking babies. Mommy, I need my bottle. And now these Gen Z are growing up. They're still drinking water out of a bottle. Like they'll go to like the grocery store and get these like big packs of bottled water and they just drink bottled water the whole time.
Not gonna lie, I did that, but just because my fridge filter was so shite, so
I'm doing that because I'm worried about the health risks in like 60 years of drinking the tap water.
Nah, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Like some of my friends are those people that are like, oh, I need the natural mountain spring or whatever water. And I'm like, I'm not specific. I just want my water to be clean at least. Like if I'm in a foreign place, I'm gonna be looking up like, is this safe to drink? Or is this tap water okay to drink if that's all I have? Well, if I'm hungover and I need a sip of water in a hotel room, like I'm gonna go in the sink.
I'm planning on reaching out to a chemist expert, and then have him come on the show and show Zach in person the difference between the waters that he consumes.
I would love.
I think that would be great.
I would love to destroy every single one of his arguments in one fell swoop.
No, he'll show you with chemistry. I don't think. I mean, there's nothing for you to destroy because it's going to be right in front of you, seeing it.
But like, look at the proof. Like, I've been drinking tap water for years.
Proof.
I'm fine. You know what I mean? I'm like doing just fine. My brain is working great. Big muscles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't stop it. That. You know what I mean? I had a bad experience. So I had we went to the beach one time, like a big group of friends, and I forgot my sunscreen. And one of the girls there, she's like, "Oh, you can use some of mine." I got the organic, natural sunscreen. It's made out of like, I don't know, almonds and like coconut milk or some bullshit, right?
Okay.
And I put it on, and I got fucking torched that day.
Really?
Like skin peeling off, fucking red. And I'm like, nah, I need some chemicals in that shit. Like I need some red 40 in my sunscreen. Like put something that the scientists with the little glasses made in a lab, put that shit in my sunscreen.
So you like the bad things, like the things that are considered bad.
Yes. Like
he likes
the things, I like the things that work.
Because people literally will be like, refrain from these sunscreens right now.
He likes everything that causes cancer. Anything that's cancer causing, Zach will use.
Supposedly.
No, yeah.
I literally dated a girl who was super into like holistic medicine and all that thing. And she was like, yes, this is why I'm so healthy. And I'm like, then why does your knee click every time you walk, Sarah? It's like, no, you need like a professional to go in there and like figure out with science and like chemicals how to fix everything.
Wait, what clicks?
Her
knee.
Her knee would click when she would just walk. Yeah.
So you're saying she's unhealthy?
Was she a gymnast?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe she like sports or something.
No,
She's
just
built
normal
like that.
person. Knee was just clicking away. Yeah.
How did you hear it? Was that loud?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
How did you get into the skincare and developing your line?
I got into it just because I wanted to start a business, and I'm really into skincare for myself. Like I've always just been like kind of neurotic about it. You know, some people like my girlfriend, she's like, get ready to do your 1,000-step skincare because it's right before everyone goes to bed. I'm like in there like for like 30 minutes doing it. But that's one reason. And then for the hair growth, I do know that a lot of people are struggling with that. And when someone sees an ad or when someone sees something, they're gonna think I need this. And just as like a marketing strategy, I feel like that's a good product to have to like build your first business on. So that's why I chose those two products. But yeah.
How did you get to choosing the ingredients when you were doing the research?
So I sourced it from a lab, and this specific lab lets me pick. They have like different formulations for different ones, and then I just chose basically which one I want for the brand, Aurora Labs, and yeah.
So for the hair care line, you said caffeine, turmeric, and what was the third one? Biotin. Yeah. And so how come you didn't, like, for example, one of the ingredients that does work well with especially both skin and hair is castor oil.
I thought you were gonna say that. Yeah, it's just different things can have different effects, and the caffeine one is really on the rise right now. People are paying attention to that. Castor oil has always been effective at, people put on their eyebrows, their eyelashes, but the caffeine specifically for your scalp is like everyone's talking about that, and a lot of research is being done on that. So. And it just sounds cool. Like I want to put caffeine in my hair while I'm drinking my coffee.
That's awesome.
Sounds cool.
I'm excited. We'll take some samples from you later.
Yeah, I would love that.
Try it out.
I'll give you all one.
Awesome.
And is it just for guys or is it for girls too?
So it's unisex. So I'm trying to it's definitely.
Is it to like hydrate girls' hairs?
Yeah. So
while like for guys, it's to grow.
Why did you point at me?
Yeah.
Why did you like this guy?
For guys,
I don't know
hair.
what you look like underneath that hat.
True,
You never
true,
know.
true,
You could be
true.
a hatfish.
Yeah.
Hatfish. I like that. I should use that in like a marketing thing. Are you a hatfish? Well,
There's
I've got the
hatfishes.
products for you.
There's this one guy that ghosted me because I asked him to send me a picture of him without a hat on.
Interesting.
Dang.
Because like literally on his Instagram, I went down every single picture. Hat. Didn't have one without a hat. So then I'm like starting to wonder like what's under the hat. And he was like, can I take you out? I said, yeah, if you send me a picture of you without the hat.
So you gave an ultimatum. Yeah.
And he left it on scene, and then he, replied back to something like nonchalantly trying to like, pass over that, trying to pass the topic over. And then I replied back like 4 months later, and I was like, hey, no picture yet? ?
No pic yet.
And he ignored me.
You should have sent him.
And there's no reason to be insecure, but like just send me a picture of it. Or like send me a picture of yourself without the hat. I'm not going to say anything.
I agree with you. Like it's justifiable that you wanted to see without the hat. But imagine a man texting one and be like, oh, send me a picture without your bra on. Or like, I want to see how big your boobs really are.
But like a hat is covering your like half your face. Like I'm wearing it right now just because my hair.
So that's why I'm like, I see what you mean.
But like I don't see the big deal. If you want to take me out, I'm gonna end up whipping off your hat anyways.
and if he was bald or something, would that have been a deal breaker? Or like
no, but like I wanted to see him without a hat because I can't see your full face without it.
Oh, okay.
If you're ugly without the hat, yeah, it's a deal breaker.
Interesting. So you don't date ugly. A lot of girls date ugly guys with good personalities nowadays.
Sometimes, yeah.
What do you mean nowadays?
I've dated many of ugly men.
What do you mean?
No, a lot of girls do. It's called geronophilia. It's a condition.
Oh,
It can't be fixed. Yeah.
Are you just making this up?
No, I saw it on a TikTok video, so it's definitely
okay,
true.
of course.
I'm not an expert.
You really
I'm
got
not an
me on
expert,
that.
but I'm a genius, so it probably is true.
It can't be
I
fixed.
think women throughout the centuries have always been enticed by men who they are on the inside and less about who they are on the outside.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that if you carry yourself like you're a hot guy, then I think you're hot. Like I've dated not attractive guys where my friends are like, what were you thinking? But I'm like, you just don't get it.
Well, it's fine for you, like, because you'll be attracted to that. Everything, your bloodline will be fucked. Like you're gonna get to the afterlife someday, and your ancestors are gonna be like, "What the fuck?
Where did this go wrong?"
We could have D1 athletes. Now we got some Oompa Loompa leprechauns running around trying to get their Lucky Charms back. You know?
Yeah, like Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater. Did you see that? Do you know who that is? Oh my god,
he's short. Or just
he
ugly?
was a munchkin man in the movie of the Wicked movie. Like he was casted as the munchkin man role. So you can consider him not the cutest.
Crazy.
That's who she like, you know.
But wasn't Ariana dating what's that comedian's name?
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he's tall.
And then Pete was
but he's not attractive.
Kim Kardashian. But that's my point.
Yeah.
That like he's what?
I feel like girls think Pete is hot though.
I think they think he's hot because he dated Kim Kardashian.
But nobody said he was hot. They all said he was hot ugly.
Yeah. I don't think he's the cutest in my opinion. But Ariana Grande never dates any cute guys.
Imagine
this
if
one's
Pete
worse.
is just gonna somehow come across this. He's like, damn, fuck you guys.
Yeah, he like comments on the post like, what the fuck? No, I think as a guy, you need 2 out of 3. Tall and hot, rich and successful, and funny. Like if you're like successful and you're funny, you don't have to be hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if you're like hot and funny, you don't have to be successful. You can live on like your friend's couch.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
true. You just mooch your whole life.
Yeah, like you could take her to like McDonald's for the $1 menu. And she's like, oh my God, I'm in love.
That
You know
should
what I mean?
be a multiple choice test on first grade. You just walk in, pick 2 out of 3.
Yeah, you get 2 out of 3.
Which
yeah.
one are you? I should just start asking, like, guys, when I start dating again, like, which one are you?
Well, you can just notice it. I mean, hot is easy. For rich, you can just do the phone plan.
Well, if a guy
test.
tries to tell you he's a nice guy, you instantly know, nope. You're lying.
That he's not a nice guy.
Yeah. If you just say you're a nice guy, that's where I start
But
to
do you
get
like
thrown off.
nice guys?
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to say that you're nice. Like, ever.
But you actually like nice guys.
Not super nice ones. I like ones that are nice to me.
I don't know if I
we
believe
were
that.
having a conversation about this last night. And it's interesting because I think there are some people that don't want to admit that they don't want a nice guy. And I think that's what the biggest problem
I do.
is.
I think
You want a
that-
nice guy.
Yeah.
Or you don't want to admit that you don't
No,
want a
yeah,
nice guy.
I always wanted a nice guy. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
okay,
that
let's
there's, like,
talk.
an age gap.
But okay, let's talk about this.
Let's
Talk
down
about
to
your
the
dating
nitty-gritty.
history. So, are you currently dating or no?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
How long?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. Most people don't want to talk about their like current relationship. So if you're comfortable about it, you could talk about it. But otherwise, we could talk about your exes.
Oh, love that.
What a two great
What?
choices. I think, like I'm really happy and like I would never date someone if I didn't, number one, see them long term in my life being a good person in my life in general. Like if I if I find myself waking up in the morning and it's another day, another problem, like I'm not smiling all the time, feeling happy, like why am I wasting my time on this person? Like life's too short to just get addicted. People get addicted to the way people make them feel, and especially with women, we get addicted to the dopamine we get when it's like a chase and pull
Yeah.
type of thing. And so I think just life's too short to go through that like misery. Like just focus on yourself and what you want, and you'll get that partner. And I feel like, yeah, I'm really happy. But in the past, obviously, it's been,
Yeah, I
everyone
was
goes
gonna
through-
say, I feel like we hit a certain age where
Yeah.
we're like, I don't want this at all.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
I
but
went
be
through
honest,
a
be honest.
phase.
Be
of
okay,
only liking-
Okay, so your boyfriend now, right?
Mhm.
When you first met him, was he not even, would people have described him as a nice guy?
Of course, yeah.
They went to describe him like he's a player or like he like
No.
interesting.
See, that kind of puts me off. If they describe like my man as a player, then I'm instantly like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna
I
claim
don't
a
know if I
guy where
believe you
they're
guys. I feel
You
like
don't believe it.
every time
they
a
better
girl
be nice.
describes to her friend. So I have a weird mix where like girls either think I'm like a super nice guy because I'm from Wisconsin, or girls like see my Instagram and they think I'm like a fuckboy, right? I have like kind of both ends of the spectrum. And whenever girls tell their friends, oh, Zach, he's like such a sweet guy, I swear to God, it's like their libido like drops to like ground zero. And they like don't even like me. But if they tell their friends like, oh yeah, like be careful with Zach, like he's kind of like gets girls, blah, blah, blah. Then it's like all of a sudden they're like curious about me and talking to me. I'm like, look, I wish I could be a nice guy. I wish I could be a good little simp and run around with my simp friends and eat ice cream out of a cone like a child and yummy, you know what I mean? But I can't, it's like I would be alone forever. Like, I don't know.
No, not true. Because I will say this, it's not just women and men. Like it's not just men that are like that. I think both men and women, or just humans in general, want what they can't have always. So when a woman thinks, oh, he's a nice guy, he's going to pander to me, he's going to do what I want, he's going to give me everything I want. And it's like people want what they can't have. So they're going to always kind of like be like driven to something that is a little unattainable. And that's something that you have to fix within yourself.
Yeah.
But you see to that, subsequently what ends up happening is there is this desire. The reason why Zach, for example, is saying that he doesn't believe you guys, right? Is because there is this pattern that continuously happens where women, like you guys said, don't want to admit that the guy that they're with is a player while they're with them. But they want to take a guy who is a player and turn him and feel like they were the one who changed him.
Yes. That's like in every movie trope ever. Yes. Yeah.
So what ends up happening is the question comes up that, are you dating a nice guy? And if you manage to change that guy who was a player and he ended up being so nice to you, then you would say, yes, I do love a nice guy because he's nice to me.
Yeah.
But in reality, the guy was a player all along in the beginning and just something clicked and something changed. And women love to take credit for the fact that they were the one who changed them.
Like all the plaques, like these, like, oh, like this is this man. I
You have
changed.
pictures of
I
the wall.
changed. He's a nice guy now. Yeah. But
It's the same, like a lot of girls will tell me they like nerds. Like, oh no, I love nerds. And I'm like, show me your boyfriend. And they show me like his Instagram. I'm like, this is just like a male model with glasses. Like this is just a dude with a six-pack and an astigmatism. Like this is a fake nerd. This is an imaginary nerd. Like the real nerds you've never met, because they can't leave their basement for more than 3 hours. Because if they do, their mom might come downstairs and clean up the board game that they've been playing with their nerd friends. You know what I mean? Like those are the real nerds. But I think girls like the imaginary ones.
Yeah, they're like, I like dorks. Like he's dorky. I'm like, because
It's
he
like-
likes Marvel.
Yeah. Like you watch the
Baby likes
Avengers
Marvel.
movie or something, you know? Like,
He's not really a dork. He's just a boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So how old are you?
23.
You're 23. You're 24. So you started dating your boyfriend when you were 21. And
Or I think I was 22. But I think I'm about to turn.
so it's like almost like 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you sounded like you were dating some toxic people before that.
I only really had one serious boyfriend before that, and I just think I wouldn't go as I have a very forgiving
Personality. You forget.
towards
Yeah.
people. So, and I really see people for that. So I'm not gonna say, oh, he's toxic and he's just a narcissist. He doesn't know what's going on. Like I know what's going on. Like he has shit going on in his head from his childhood and all this stuff. That's fine, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be with you. Like it was toxic, but I'm not gonna sit here and say he's a bad person or he's all these other things. And everyone learns throughout every relationship like how to manage and deal with other people.
Sure.
So I think he was definitely, like, I guess by your guys' terms, like he was definitely toxic, but I think so was I a little bit, because we were so young, and it was just you live and you learn.
I feel like it's like both people being toxic at that point.
That's when
whenever
I'm
always like, oh, he was so toxic, but so was I.
You're still dating?
No,
Oh, you're in a relationship now?
No,
too.
I'm single.
So you're still dating?
I'm not dating though. I'm not dating.
No, I mean you're like in the dating scene.
Yeah. But I'm not like talking to anyone.
Okay.
I've been kind of refrained from that.
Why is that?
Like, I don't know. Like every time that I have a conversation with a guy, I'm like, this is why I wish that you just never opened your mouth.
Why is that?
Like, because I like to go out too, like with my girls, whatever. And whenever I'm out, like I'm drinking with the girls, and like there's always just that one guy that walks up to you, and you're like, oh, that guy over there is like really cute. And then the second they speak, I'm like, I just wish that you would have just zipped it the whole time. Didn't say one word.
Like
and then I would have liked you. I would have liked the mystery.
Something?
No, they just say stupid things.
Say
or
some
like
weird
just
shit?
yeah, like it's just always some comment. I don't know. It's hard to date out here, but I think it's hard to date in the United States of America.
So what's what every woman wishes men knew?
That I know what you're thinking. I'm like, I know that everything that you guys. I'm trying to think of like a way of words around it.
Like you, in any situation, given situation, you would know how, like
we always
their
know.
thought process and why they're acting the way they're acting.
Yeah, like we always know. Like even whenever we ask them things, we wish that they were to just tell us the truth in a sense because we already know the answer to it.
But what about? Okay, so
something
girls always say like, I don't like when guys play games. Why would you just be straightforward with me, right?
Yeah.
But let's say you're out at the bar or the club or whatever, and some guy comes up to you. He's like, "Damn, girl, you got a nice ass. I'm trying to smash, right?
Yeah.
Like, you get away from me, you like sicko, right?" And then this other guy, from across the bar, you see him. Maybe he has like a British accent or something like that, and he walks up. He's like, "Hello, like, I just saw you from over there. Like, you seem like you had good vibes. Like, I just wanted to get to know you better, and have a conversation." That would probably be like a better way to go about it. But ironically, the first guy was the one actually being honest with you, because the second guy also is trying to sleep with you, but he's just lying kind of in a way and playing a game that you like. So it's like, I don't want to play games. We have to play games as guys, because otherwise, like, what are we supposed to do? Do you see what I'm saying?
There's a lot of other things you could do between those two options.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, regardless, the only actual honest option is, hey, I thought you were hot. I'm trying to smash.
I see what you're saying.
Like, really. And then, like, yeah, you could, and like, the more you sugarcoat it, the more of like a game it kind of is.
I feel like this combo is going on in like a club right now. Like what? Like, what did you say? Like,
yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm picturing.
But like, you could meet like a girl in like an old-fashioned way, like whatever that may be.
Like Tinder, yeah.
Yeah, like Tinder or Hinge.
but regardless of how you meet them, it still is going to be like a situation where that there's a certain game you have to play when you're dating, where you talk like a certain way and you say certain things and you open the door for them and you take them on a date or whatever, because you know that this is the way society works, even though it's kind of a lie. Like, you're kind of taking her out to catch, not because like you
shouldn't be faking it. I feel like men need to know to like keep it consistent, not just from the beginning. Like you said, the guy is going up to her compared to the other one being like, "Oh, what's your number? Like, how are you?" He's being super respectful. Then you got to keep the respect up.
But I'm saying, so you're saying keep the fakeness up,
like
longer.
Keep the energy. Like, you have to keep up with the energy and the flowers.
Always.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the opposite
fake.
of authentic.
No, but
which is fine. Like, it's the way the world works. No, I do the second option because I know that's how the world works.
What's your authentic though? Like, if you were to be authentic,
if you look at a girl, like, let's say, for instance, let's say you are at a club, or like you're at somewhere and you see this girl and you just feel so drawn to her and she's so beautiful and you're like, oh my god, like, I don't know why I feel like she's my wife or something. Would you be your authentic self and not even think about quantifying, am I gonna act like this or act like that? You're just it just comes out naturally, you know what I mean?
So a wise man once told me, this is true, this is gonna make you guys hate all men, but it's the truth.
Oh, we're already there.
He said, if a girl calls, or no, if a guy, like if you say to a girl, right, he's like, if a guy calls you hot, it means he's looking at your body, right? If a guy calls you beautiful, it means he's looking at your eyes. If a guy calls you gorgeous, it means he's looking at your soul. But all three guys are just trying to smash. They're all trying to smash. They're all the same thing. They're just going about it in a way that they know you will like more, which is fine. It's the way society works. But I'm saying, like, you have to play game. Like, you have to not be authentic, because if every guy just walked up like, hey, you're hot, like, let's bang, like, you'd be like,
I don't know. Sometimes being more blunt works for me. Like, I don't want
like
you
what?
To be like, I don't want you to be like my Prince Charming at the club if you're just trying to smash. Mm-hmm. Like, at least be like, what's up? What are you doing later?
Just like be like,
just
hey,
be blunt.
Let's go have sex.
Honestly, not those words, but like, I feel like you have a better shot of implying it and finding a girl that's going to be like, yeah, like, I'm down, than to fake it. Because then it's just gonna be like
No,
a
but that's
waiting
my
game
entire
long.
point is faking it is being the more thing that girls want. Like, hey, like I wanted to get to know you or whatever. That is the fakeness.
That's what we want.
Yeah. Like
If
you want a
your
guy to like.
intention is just the smash, you better tell me that. That's not what we want.
But every guy's intention is the smash. Like maybe he also wants to date you, but he also thinks you're hot. He's never met you before. All he sees is like how you look. And like he's trying to smash for sure, right? Or am I missing something?
He wants to smash, but I feel like if you want to date and you want to smash are two different things. Like dating, you'd be smashing the person regardless all the time.
Yeah, so he wants to smash you a lot. A lot of times. Like not
Put that.
I'm letting you into the male mind. You know
Webster Dictionary.
Yeah.
Dating dash wants to smash a lot. Smashing
Yeah.
a lot. Smashing a lot.
They need to change that in the
Oh my
dictionary for sure. Yeah.
That's just such a convoluted way of looking at it. Like, I understand your logic behind it, which is like, because you do want to have sex with the person at some point, therefore you want to have sex with this person at all times only. Those
No,
are
not at
two
all.
different things.
But my point is, if you see somebody, you've never talked to them in your life, you don't know their personality, and you walk up to them, the reality is the only possible thought you could have had, because you don't know what their personality is you think they're hot.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you want to have sex with them that minute. Like my first thought isn't going to be like we're going to
I
have
wish
sex
I could
later.
let you into the mind of a dude. You know, there was a documentary on female bodybuilders, and they would give them
Did you
testosterone because they wanted to like get their muscles really big and stuff. And they asked them, what is it like being on testosterone? Everyone, the number one side effect they said, they're like, all I would think about all day is sex.
Yeah,
Dude, like-
that's one thing. I will never date a guy who takes sex. It'll just turn him into like a crazy person.
Like, literally, you're just like, open the door, like, sex? Like, you're looking for, not me, like I'm very
That's
shine
fine.
romantic, but all the other guys out
You're
there. You know what I
shine
mean?
romantic.
Very shine romantic, yeah.
Oh.
I'm just saying for all the other guys
Open
in
the
LA.
door.
Yeah.
Sex is everything.
But that's how it is if you never experienced like testosterone in your body before, you know?
Yeah,
yeah, thank God.
women actually do have a certain level of testosterone.
Actually, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
So I've experienced it to a
And there's
small
guys
extent.
with estrogen too.
Oh yeah,
I've definitely met some
eat
of
some
these
edamame
fuckers.
beans. You're gonna be
The
growing
little-
some boobs.
Yeah, the little Gen Z guys with their little TikTok hair and you know.
I know they're adorable. Like the little e-boys here.
What's
they're
your
so
type?
cute. I have none.
You would do anything and anything.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So ugly guys with good personality.
I've talked to
it.
ugly,
Yeah.
I've talked to hot, I've
Uh-huh.
talked to tall, I've talked to short, I've talked to
Why
Everything.
isn't it working out for you?
honestly, I think it's because I honestly haven't taken anything seriously since college, and whenever I was in college, none of the men were taking things seriously.
So the roles got reversed in a way.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm very happy alone to the point where I'm like, I can't imagine somebody in my bed with me every night. Like I love my bed alone, and so then I'm like,
But is it
not
that-
in
but
the
is that-
urge to have somebody with me.
But is that true, or is that like you adapted to that scenario because that's the only way
No, I
to make
just-
yourself feel good?
I've always been very like independent. Like
But
no matter where I go, like I love to be alone. Like I've driven 30 hours and my friends offered like, can we drive with you? My mom was like, can we drive with you? My dad was like, no.
You're an introvert, yeah.
I need to just, and I'm like I'm the most introverted extrovert ever. Like I want to do things alone, but then whenever it comes down to like socializing or going out, like I need to be with my friends. But then whenever it comes to doing errands and things like that, gotta be alone. Going to bed, gotta be alone.
You're what they call an ambivert.
What is that?
It's
An
it's
ambivert?
ambivert. It's
Oh.
both extrovert and introvert.
Yeah, that's what I feel like most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is like I've gotten so accustomed to a routine where I just haven't like wanted to date or talk to any men. I'm like, I talk to them here and there, but it doesn't go far. I don't know, once like one red flag and I'm like, I'm out.
What would you
No.
what falls under red flag for you personally?
I think that a red flag for me would be like no drive. If I ask you like, what do you do? And you're like, I don't know what I want to do with life and things like that. That kind of puts me off. A red flag also would be like, I'm trying to think of the red flags that I've dealt with recently.
Do you care about
Men
money or is it just ambition?
I think ambition, no money.
Really?
I love to treat my man.
No
Like,
way.
Yeah,
I'm the
like
same way.
I love to treat a man. Like I
No
like to take them
way.
out. Like I like to pay for their dinner.
I don't like to
Yeah.
pay for the dinner, but
No,
I'll get
I've
them
done that.
presents.
I've done like
I
the
feel like I should be
dinner.
fed as a little
I've been like, let's
princess.
split dinner. Like I got dinner this time.
Really?
Like I'll do the little surprises or yeah, like I love treating a man. So sometimes I think that's my biggest thing too with men is like when I do that, they expect it more and more. And that's my biggest downfall in relationships is because like I'm too
You set the tone
like
on a bad foot in
I'm
a way.
such a little spoiler and then they're like they expect it. And then,
Interesting.
you know, take advantage a little. They're like they
That's a
expect
Zach
it.
problem.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, it used to be
Oh,
anyway.
you would take it.
You were spoiling
No,
the girls?
I just like, okay, I can't cook, right? Like I can make some ratchet shit, some mac and cheese or something like that. But like I barely know how to use a microwave. It's like, and then you like sit there and you're like, what's the difference between a tablespoon and a teaspoon? ChatGPT. It's like, no, and you have to do dishes.
You gotta really love a girl.
Like,
if you're
hop in the
looking-
BMW, go to Catch Steak and get a steak prepared by some dude who since the age of 7 has been obsessed with making steaks. It's like, I don't understand the whole cooking thing.
But what if you find a girl that can cook your favorite meals for you and it's like made with love? What about that?
That's cool. It's just not. Guys are like, oh, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I'm like, that's such bullshit.
I
Like,
think
who
that
cares?
is overly generous.
Yeah,
Uber
yeah.
Eats, fucking go
Uber
to a
Eats.
restaurant. Like everything's fine. You know what I mean? And I think it's the same way when girls are
But
like,
were you were you ordering out dinner for girls too much? Is that what
no, I
happened?
would just always take girls to nice places.
Oh, and so
and
they
then
expect it.
sometimes so I got in an argument one time because I typically date girls who are younger than me,
Okay.
quite a bit younger than me.
That's what,
And
it's not outrageous out here.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
so
normal
girls
thing.
are like,
Depends who
oh,
you talk to, but yeah.
you
continue.
like younger girls because, and they like put this whole like story in their head of you like to manipulate them or you like to something like you're using your experience against them or I'm like some kind of like evil villain.
And that could be the case with some men, but that's not. If people know who you are, like, then you know not to. Either you don't even have to argue that.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, here's my dilemma, right? So if I date a girl who's like 22, 23, whatever, typically they will be happy. Like if I took them to like Chick-fil-A, they'd be like, oh my God, I love Chick-fil-A. If I take them to Catch, they're like, oh my God, like I saw in my friend's story they were at Catch. And they're like so thankful and like appreciative. And like, I like that. It makes me feel like a man. It makes me
Yeah.
feel like I'm the provider.
Mm-hmm.
But if I date a girl who's like 30 and I take her to Catch, it's like, well, of course he took me to Catch. The fuck? I'm not going to go to like Cheesecake Factory. And it's like so expected that it doesn't make me feel good about
Yeah.
taking them to like a nice place. And I like taking girls to nice places and like doing things for them and blah, blah, blah. But like, then it becomes like a expectation. And now I no longer feel good about it because it feels like I'm getting coerced into it instead of doing this because I want to help, like make this
That
person
makes
feel
sense.
good. You know what I mean?
I feel like some guys like to be the provider,
Yeah, definitely.
and you like to be the one that's like, because I feel like a 30-year-old at that point is on their way where they're like, okay, well, I already have this money. Like I can go to Catch whenever I want. Like,
Some of them.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can go to Catch whenever I want, so I don't need to like make a big scene about this. Where a younger girl is like, oh my God, like it's all over Instagram. This is so cool. But I feel like there's a happy medium where if there's a 30-year-old, they could still be like, oh, this was such a great dinner. Like I had such a great time. You know,
Yeah, like,
this
it's
was amazing.
possible.
Like thank you so much for doing
It
this
just
for me.
is more
But
rare.
it's hard.
you know?
Yeah,
just
it's a
harder
lot
to
more
find,
rare.
You know?
I just also think there's a level of love and understanding, like you can have it with anyone, but also within relationships that exist where all these stuff that you guys are talking about, it doesn't even exist on that plane to even think about where we're going, what she thinks about where we're going, or how she acts, how she posts on her story, how men want to do, you know what I mean? Like when you meet someone, or like even like a friend, even when you meet a good like buddy or friend and you meet them, or like it's not hard. You don't have to think about these things. You don't have to think about like what kind of steak you should order them. You know what I mean? But so that's what I think is most important. But even like in friendships, I'm sure you guys have like a really great friendship, and it's easy for you guys to you don't think about all the bullshit. So
like Zach and I.
yeah, like are you like, oh, so you didn't take me to Catch this weekend? Like
Oh no, we could go anywhere.
Yeah, we can go anywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't
See, that's
matter,
what
yeah.
you need, like in a girl.
yeah.
Go anywhere. But he also wants a girl that's like, wow, you took me to Catch.
Of course, like of course we like. Oh, here's the way I look at it. Okay, like it's not about like doing something. It's like okay. do I care about going to a place where they charge 3 times as much for the food and then they give you smaller portions? Like the craziness of that statement, that they have coerced all the little sheep into the world to believe that this is a better place because they hung up some Christmas lights and then they drizzle chocolate over the top that they got from fucking Ralph's. And then they convince you to spend $300 on a dinner.
I don't
versus like,
it's not my favorite place. So.
Yeah, so I don't care about dinners, but because I understand girls like to go out. They they like to dress up and go to this.
But girls like thought put into things. They don't care where you're taking. We don't care where you take us.
No,
that's what I wish men knew. Is like if you planned me a spa day at home and you had like face masks lined up and like had a little night planned out, all we care about is the thought put into things. I've had a man put on face masks with me. If you can't put on a face mask with your girl, then
you're not gay.
What about face serums? What about that? Is that face serums? Is there a line for that?
I mean, I use face serums like
exactly.
alone, not like with my girl. Like, I'm
get her cute little products. Get her cute little products. Then put like one free massage from
No, I knew a girl who dated a guy and they would post on their Instagram all the time, face mask together, and I'm like, I don't think this guy bends his knees when he ties his shoes.
Well, they shouldn't do that all the time.
Like LGBT plus. I'm not saying he's gay, but I think he's the plus. I think he's one of the plus.
This was an idea. Spa night. What about a picnic? Picnic.
Yeah, but again, like I will do a picnic because I know the girl likes a picnic, but I don't care. Like I don't personally care about like getting a blanket, covering some ass up with it, and then
wouldn't want to do it.
Like, but I do it because I care about her. But in return, what I care about, and maybe
sex.
Well, sex, yes, but also like. Guys want to feel like they're the man.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do this for you, which I'm happy to do, I would love to do this for a girl, but then I want to feel like the man when I'm doing it. So like, I'm giving you what you want. Just give me what I want. Just give guys what they want. You know what I mean? And some girls that I've dated are very much like that. And it's a great relationship, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Where they're like very much so the submissive one.
Yeah.
Which is honestly, I feel like it's a good balance, especially if you're very much so more dominant. You need like a girl that's like bowing
submissive,
down.
Yeah.
I went on a date with a dominant girl one time. And
How did that go?
Like a dominatrix?
It was interesting. No, well, it wasn't like she was like
maybe.
I mean, maybe she was. So she was a Mormon girl.
Oh.
But she was a slingshot Mormon, not one of the other ones.
What does that mean?
Okay, so Mormon is very like strict religion, right?
Yeah.
So some Mormons, it's like they never do anything, like they never have sex till marriage, all this stuff. And then the slingshot Mormons is like they've been repressed for long that when they do let go, it's like a David and Goliath, one of those little stones, right? So we're at dinner and we're in one of those booths and she's like all over me. Like we haven't even had a drink yet. Like, and I like that stuff.
Yeah.
I like the attention, but almost to the point where like, I was even like, okay, like people are looking at us now. You know what I mean? But I was like, whatever, it's fun. So then she's like, after dinner, she's like, oh, let's go back to your place for like a drink. And I'm like, fucking yes. I'm like pumped, right?
Say less.
So we go back to my place. And the second we get in my room, she closes the door and she pushes me up against the wall, which is usually my move. Usually that's like my thing. Like, do the push up against the wall move. Like she was like Plankton, try to steal my formula, you know?
Yeah.
Instantly gets on her knees, starts ripping off my pants. And by the way, she told me she's never had sex before marriage on the date. And I was like...
So you're about to be the first one.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what happened. So first of all, I knew she had some experience because she took off my belt really fast.
So she
and
knew what
I had
she was doing.
a Gucci belt. And you know, Gucci, it's not the clasp. It's like the little button in the back.
Yeah.
And she knew it. Like so usually girls, it takes them a couple seconds. They're figuring out the belt. She just like did it instantly. So I'm like, okay, you got some kind of like mental acuity for this skill set, you know? So she starts giving me a blowjob and she knows like every trick in the book. Like she knows the like twisty double hand thing. She knows like she can like no gag reflex. Like she's like, have you ever seen the movie 300, the war movie?
No, I haven't. Mm-mm.
So
I'm not a war movie girl.
There's a scene where he takes the bow and arrow and he shoots it and it goes straight through a guy's skull. It felt like that's what my dick was doing inside her head. And it was like, I was like looking like, is it going to poke out the other side? You know what I mean? Like she was like really good. So I was like super turned on. So I take a condom out of my pocket.
I'm scared.
And she literally looks up at me and she goes, like that. It was like really weird. Like a teacher, like, And I'm like, what? And I look down and she has a "What would Jesus do" bracelet on. And she's like, well, first of all, Jesus would use less teeth for sure. And then I was like, you said
that she knew what she's doing. Now she's using
I know, but I was
teeth.
kind of mad now. So I had to like bring it up. I didn't actually say that. But it was just so bizarre to me that I was like, you're saying it's okay for my dick to be so far inside your skull that it's rattling around the 3 brain cells in there, and that's okay, but God doesn't want me to have sex with you? So then I try to convince her, if we have sex with a condom, it doesn't count as sex because, if you're washing your hands with gloves on, you're not really washing your hands. Then that didn't work. And it's like,
You could have soaked.
jerked off and went to bed.
Mormon people
Like,
do the
sometimes
soaking.
Jordan scores
Oh my
50 and still loses,
You guys.
Mormon people do soaking, where like you
What's
I've
soaking?
heard of this.
you
yeah.
put your penis inside her, but like you just lay there.
Like, you don't do anything. You just kind of
You
stay
just-
there. Nope. You just
You-
go in.
you
and
can't
just
make any,
sit
I feel like
there.
that'd be okay. Wouldn't God be
So-
looking down at you like, this is cringe? Wouldn't he just be like, okay, guys, just fucking
Like
have
the
sex?
awkward
Like, this
silence
too
is
cringe.
a little crazy.
But I think they're like Mormons, like specifically have like more of a crazy, crazy outlook on a lot of things. Like,
Mhm.
if you really look into the Mormon religion, they have. I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna say there is some things that are just like.
I
it's
on
interesting,
Halloween have a horrific story on like whenever I was in college, it was Halloween day
Mhm.
and everybody was wearing their costumes. So I walked up to these guys and I was like, "What's your costumes?" And they're like, "We're not in a costume. We're a part of the Church of the Latter-day Saints." I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like I thought that you guys were in costume."
Wait, what were they? What were they wearing?
They
Like-
were wearing like their suits and
Oh,
everything,
I
like
see.
their
Oh,
normal
so they were,
church
like-
things. And it said their badge was like church, but I thought it was a costume. Like I thought they were
Crazy.
like my costume. It's Mormon,
Interesting.
but like no, it wasn't.
Are you religious?
I'm not super religious. No,
Gotcha.
What's
like
not
I believe in
super
God,
religion?
but
Okay.
like, I don't know.
What why? Okay, this is an interesting
I
thing.
was born, or I grew up Greek Orthodox, but my church spoke Greek and Latin growing up, and I don't. So I don't know much about the Bible, to be quite honest, because I didn't
Interesting.
understand what they were saying. at the time.
Interesting, yeah.
So Zach has this theory that nobody actually believes in God.
I do.
So you actually believe in
Yeah.
God. Okay.
You sound like my brother.
So explain to him how you could possibly believe in God.
How I could possibly believe in God?
Yes.
I think there's two like variables, or like two things that there could be going on right now. Either there's a God and there's a creator, whether it's the God that you have in your head or God just all encompassing being whatever is the creator of everything. There's that, or there's a very big chance that we are, and there's like, it's very probable we are in a simulation.
I wouldn't doubt that actually.
They did test, like they looked into all this stuff and they were like, and it's just, I'm gonna choose like the faith, and I'm gonna choose something that seems more rooted in like
Imagination.
Yeah.
imagination. No, it's faith. It's faith.
Yeah. Not
Space.
imagination.
Faith
but
would be imagination.
No, because you can show up to, let's say you're going to a job interview, or you're gonna meet up with like a girl or something, and you're like, I have faith in myself that I'm gonna woo this girl. Or I have faith in myself that I'm gonna get this done.
that's your imagination hoping that would happen.
True, but I think all things there could be multiple things true at one time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it is imagination, but
Uh-huh.
I suppose. But wouldn't be the simulation theory also be imagination, because we don't know what it is?
Absolutely.
Any theory of it would be imagination in my
100%.
book, in anyone's book, because you don't know. So you have to choose to believe in something, whether it be you don't believe in anything, or you believe in God, or you believe in simulation theory, like whatever it is, it all is imagination. That's kind of what I meant by saying multiple things can be true at once. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like, okay,
So Zach thinks that people who believe in God don't actually believe in God.
yes. Because, well, okay, there's two ways to go about it. Either you believe in like the Bible God and like this very specific thing, which I'm like, or you believe in like God is just like some kind of ethereal energy
I believe
out
that
there.
there's like a higher power. Yeah.
So the Christian God one doesn't make sense because I'm like, wait. Imagine, okay, I used to follow this Instagram page. It was called World Dumbest Criminals, right? And it'd be some like criminal that like was trying to escape and he like pushing the pole door and then he like got caught because he's like an idiot, right? So imagine you're a criminal and you're about to steal from Walmart. And then you turn around and there's like a police officer right behind you. And he's like, yo, you're not going to steal that, right? And then you still steal it. Like you'd be the dumbest, most idiot person like on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Now imagine you're about to sin and you believe that God is everywhere, always watching you. And instead of going to jail, you burn in hell for all of eternity. And then you still sin. I'm like, y'all don't really believe this. Like, y'all don't really think that God is watching. You believe in some idea of like being a good person and like maybe there's something out there, but I don't think anybody actually believes in like the Christian God.
I see what you're saying. I see the points.
But
that you're
I
making.
think that there's forgiveness in the sins, right?
But if that's the
Saying
case,
there's
cool. But then
space for
what I'm going to
forgiveness.
do is just sin all the time. And then like at the end of my life when I'm like falling off the
that's
bridge,
what I'm doing, and I'm just
like,
hoping
please
for
forgive
the
us, like
best.
right before I hit the ground and use the loophole. And then I get like best of both worlds, you know?
I am living in a way where like I'm living to make myself happy, and in the end, if that is a sin, I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry.
Are you
know?
currently
like I hope that God exists, but also like I hope that I'm not punished for all of the sins my entire life, because there's plenty.
what would you say are your current sins?
I don't even know. I've stolen in my life.
You did what?
Stolen, like shoplifted in my life in high school. I mean, another sin would probably be sex before marriage.
Ton of that.
I'm trying to think of like what are the sins? Do we know?
Yeah, gluttony, greed.
I'm greedy sometimes.
Lie,
I'm
do you
I've
lie?
been greedy. I'm sure I've lied.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of had a bad experience with religion.
Yeah, and
Most people have.
yeah. It's all depending on like where you fit. Like where I don't go to church. I don't do any of that anymore. But I think that some people's religions always like intrigue me. Like some of my friends are Muslim, and I'm always like wanting to learn more about that and things like that, because people like whenever they have a close connection to their religion, it like intrigues me. Because I'm like, I've never had that, you know. So I think that would be cool to like explore more. Maybe like try to find a religion that you like. Maybe who knows, maybe one day you're gonna be like, I'm Hindu now.
Maybe.
I'm a Hindu.
Highly doubt
I
it.
doubt it, but it's possible, I suppose.
Lane, what's your what would other people say is your most toxic trait?
Most toxic trait. I'm gonna just do the reverse psychology interview thing where it's like, my most toxic trait is I work too hard and I am too perfectionist. So I could just do that. No, let me actually think about this. I think my biggest toxic trait is I feel like I definitely have ADHD. Like, yeah, I definitely have it pretty bad. So I think my toxic trait is just being late. I was late here. I think being late and...
Why were you late?
I had to stop. I had to stop at the gas station.
You had to stop, or you chose to stop?
I chose my free will decision to stop and make all of you wait.
The simulation made me do it.
That's me. Every time I need gas, I'm like, I gotta go. I don't care. Like, they're gonna have to wait.
No, I didn't.
my work.
That's not my
Well,
mentality.
whenever
I'm just
Of
like, no, that's my
course.
toxic trait. I'm just like
when
time
I'm going to
blindness.
work,
That's my
yeah,
toxic trait.
I'm not timely. I have ADHD as well, and I haven't been on my meds in like.
What meds do you take?
I took Adderall and I don't know the other name of the med, but I had 2, and I don't take them anymore.
That's
because
good.
I
How was that
just
for
didn't
you?
want to. But I honestly would say that there's a huge decline in my time management, getting things done, because it helps whenever you're like medicated on things. I wouldn't say like I'm not pushing meds, but it definitely helps. But the withdrawals aren't good. Like, not great.
They are good or aren't good?
They aren't.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't warn. The government doesn't want to warn you about those. Like, they don't want to tell you about the withdrawals of ADHD
They're making too
meds.
much money off of it.
Yeah, they're making too much money.
Any medicine, for that matter.
Yeah, honestly.
Should we just start talking about big pharma now? Or?
Don't even get me
What do you think
started
about vaccines?
on that stuff. That's interesting. So does your boyfriend suffer from this? Do you guys live together, or
No.
Oh, you don't? So he definitely does suffer from this trait of yours.
Maybe. Yeah.
What is his sign?
His
Sign.
zodiac sign? Capricorn.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Capricorn, Gemini, are they
Yeah.
supposed to get along?
No.
They're not.
They're
Are you
not.
into zodiac signs?
I think
My
I
mom
think
was a Capricorn.
I am, but I'm not like I don't know.
Do you get along
enough.
with her?
I had a tumultuous relationship with her, but
Yeah.
you know, I think it's all very generalized. I think
Of course.
if you read a zodiac sign, it says, "Oh, you sometimes you're extroverted, but sometimes you're also introverted," and you know, you just sometimes you just love to just relax and not be around the crowdy noise. Any person on planet Earth is gonna be like, "That's me." That's me. Like, who's not going to be like, "That's me"?
But
That's, every sign
Geminis are all crazy.
Who? Gemini?
Gemini.
Well, I'm evil genius, baby, I guess.
You're like the
in a
villain
specific
that the
category.
audience kind of roots for because you're funny. Like you're like that person, you know.
I'm
Like
always gonna
Geminis
choose
are in
to
a very
do
like
people right.
specific category.
I guess I'm a nice.
You got morals and ethics.
You're a nice
Like,
Gemini.
I'm a nice sociopath. Narcissist,
Yeah.
you know? I'm like the friendly neighborhood sociopath.
Lane, where are you from?
I'm from Florida.
Florida. Oh.
What part?
Florida. Orlando.
Oh my gosh, my family lives out there.
Really?
Something like Springs.
I was gonna say Palm Springs. Sorry, it's called
Something Springs. I forget. I don't know.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
I
Did you say
lived-
that?
I grew up in Pittsburgh,
You
but
grew up in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
I've moved around.
Like
I've
to
moved
where?
Here and there. First I moved to New York at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved to Arizona at I think 19, and then now I'm here.
What's the oldest you would date? Wow, you've dated some old men, huh?
No, I haven't.
Why'd you smile?
Because I don't know. Like sometimes I see men that are like they look like my age now, and then sometimes I'm getting like I don't know. I get confused now. I'm into 35-year-olds randomly.
Like, I could date the dad or his son.
Yeah, like now I'm getting confused. I'm at that age where I could definitely date the dad or the son.
Uh-huh.
No, I get that. So I used to work in the modeling industry. I used to have a company, and what we would notice, we called it hot guy phase, right? And whenever like new models, you know, 18, 19, 20 would kind of come into the scene,
Yeah.
they would always be dating the same guy, young, hot guy. It was like Star Wars Attack of the Clones. It was like same TikTok haircut.
Like he likes the
It
same.
is a good movie.
Same hair, same dangly earring they got off of Temu. Like it was the same person. Like I was like, I can't tell the difference between you guys. But like the most beautiful girls, even by the time they were like 21, 22, they would always be dating like some dude that like if he dropped off your UPS package, you'd be like, oh, okay, makes sense. Like normal looking
Yeah.
dudes, but they would always be extremely successful or charismatic or mature and just kind of have their shit together.
That makes sense.
And it feels like they got bored of like looking at the six pack all day.
Yeah.
And like, how long can I stare at a six
I
pack?
think we get bored of like the doll personality. Like you get bored of like the same like, oh yeah, bro. Like just listening to the same stupid like sayings and slogans.
Yeah, bro, we
from,
went to hide yesterday.
Yeah, like
Any man who is going to hide, I'm just
Any-
don't
That's
even,
a red flag.
I don't even want to look at them.
it's okay.
I don't
Like,
even want to acknowledge their existence in my own reality.
Well, I mean, given the fact that it's not open anymore, it would be
See, I wouldn't even know
difficult.
if it's open anymore. I don't know.
What about Warwick? What if they went to Warwick?
Oh, any of those.
it doesn't matter if you're going, but don't make it your personality.
Do you guys go to this?
Mo's
I was there. We were both of them were last night.
yeah.
just
Really?
don't make it your personality.
I don't really go out to the clubs much, but if it's somebody's birthday, they're going out, there's a
yes.
sign, put the sparklers
100%.
up for them.
Yeah, it was one of our friends.
If it's a birthday or a celebration, someone just got married or someone got a promotion, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go there on a Saturday because I'm just feeling silly. Like,
Yeah.
it's not-
I just don't care as long as you don't make it your personality. As long
Yeah.
as you're not telling me on a Monday, like, yeah, we were going crazy. Like, we were popping bottles all night. Like, I just don't care. Like, I didn't miss out then. Congrats.
But see,
I wasn't forced to drink the
This
7
is-
bottles.
This is so interesting, but you're saying this at 24, though.
Yeah.
The problem is, I feel like when you were 19 years old,
I
you
was like,
were
wow.
that girl.
Yeah, I was. I was in Miami, like, posting it like it was my literal personality. I was like, I'm in Miami for the first time in spring break. There's bottles everywhere. Like, I'm taking a picture of the club promoters thinking I'm relevant. But now I think because I also worked in a club that I'm so, like, put off from it.
What do you think, club promoters? Do you think like cool guys? Do you think scum of the earth? Like, what do you think?
Since I worked in a club, I was like, I actually don't mind them, but in Arizona, they're much different than LA club promoters.
What do you think about the LA ones specifically?
They're a lot different.
In a good way or bad way? Like,
So Arizona are very like, you wouldn't. I feel like if you're a nice person, you're not going to talk crap about the Arizona ones because they're nice people and they're working hard, you know? LA ones, they're hit or miss.
Yeah.
Some of them where I'm like, what is your job? Like, no, but I'm like confused. What is the job?
Well, if you ask them that,
What do you mean? What is the job?
They're always VIP.
How are we getting paid at the end of the day from this job? Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, is it a check? Is it a Venmo?
You're bringing girls to dinner that is paid for, and then you're taking us out to a thing that's paid for. But how are you yourself getting paid from this job?
I don't know, Mo. How are you guys getting paid?
Well,
are you a club promoter?
Well, I did once. I started when I was 20. Yeah, and so.
Because I know some of my guy friends are, so I'm wondering, like, how does he get paid? If he's taking, like, he texts me, he's like, oh, come to, dinner at 8. It's at this place, and then we're going to, like, whatever after. How is this your job? Like, how are you making money from bringing girls?
Let me ask you this. What's the difference between promoting and advertising?
So is that what it is? Basically, you're just bringing girls to, like, hype it up?
Well, yeah, because the concept of clubs, the way that it is in LA anyway, right? The way that it works is that the club is making their money from selling bottles and selling alcohol, right? So the bar brings the revenue, and then the tables that are being bought, those are bringing revenue. Now, if you had, let's say you have 20 tables at this venue, okay? If you sold every single one of these tables to whoever is buying them, and usually there's like a group of, let's say, like 4 guys or 5 guys, and they have like 1 or 2 girls, you're going to have a cock fest. Because now all of a sudden you've got 20 tables sold with like 4 guys each at each table. Yeah. You've got a bunch of guys.
That makes sense.
So where all the girls are going to come from?
Promoters to like bring all the girls to those tables and entertain them.
Now it's the venue's job to basically do the planning of the production. So whether it's the lighting or the stage or the DJs and all the music, so on and so forth, the waitresses.
I was so confused when you were like, I don't know, Mo. I'm like, is he a club promoter over here? Like,
he's trying to
I wanted to get you to say like, oh, they're all the scum of the earth, and I'd be like, so Mo, what do you think about that?
I was like, no, I don't, because I'm friends with some too. So I'm like, they're gonna watch this and be like, Ari's saying we're scum.
I think club promoters have to be the world's biggest
douchebags. No,
that's for lack of better words, yes, but also I think actors and like crazy manipulators. Because think about it, they're up, like, I've gone out a couple of times when I was in Miami, and I just when the days I do want to go out, I'm like, who am I gonna hit up? And I do have their Instagram, so I'm like, hey, what's going on tonight? Where do I go? And the promoters always act like I'm their best friend, like they've ever had. They're like, okay, babe, like. Okay, like anything you want. And then I love it, but it's not real because they're doing that to everyone, and it's not a true connection. It's not. Maybe for some promoters, but it's usually not.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
It's usually not.
You're launching.
I just met the guy. I just started texting him. He's calling people like, oh, I'm his best. I'm his his greatest friend, and like, oh, I'll do anything for you and anything you want.
And then I'm like, oh,
and what are you doing tonight? And it's just like it just seems a little disingenuous.
Okay, well, let me reverse that on you real quick. You just launched this brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At some point, you're going to run into the issue of you not being able to do everything.
In what capacity?
In all the capacities that the company needs in order to grow.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And you're gonna hire people that are gonna have to sell the product, and they're gonna have to promote the product, and these people are gonna have to act like that the product that they're selling is the best thing that anybody could possibly have. Yes. Otherwise, nobody's going to fucking buy it.
Yes, but it's not an interpersonal relationship that we're handling here. It's a product we're trying to sell. The girls don't care about the club. Promoter doesn't, like, you know what I mean? So I'm talking about the club versus girl relationship. I do see what you're saying. That's
correct.
Yes, I am going to have
the difference is that the product is a venue.
Yes.
And because the person that you're selling this product to cannot physically touch and experience the product without actually going there, then you're going to have to create a relationship. So then they believe in this trust and the friendship that they have. So then they feel like they're doing something that actually makes them feel good, because at the end of the day, it's an experience.
For sure.
Right? What you're selling is an experience, is not a product.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where the relationship comes from. Now,
yes.
But you feeling like the person is being manipulated.
Well, I feel like manipulative might be a more exaggerated term. I think more just knowing how to play the game and like these people, they're these promoters. They try to like treat me like I'm their best friend, like I'm their ride or die.
But what would be the alternative? Hey, bitch, come to this. Like, what are they gonna say?
No, it's not black or white. Things don't have to be black or white. It could, either you're my best friend or bitch, come to my club. No, it could just be like, hey, just let me know. Like, it's to an extreme extent that they're like, oh, like they act like this way, and it's just like in my head, like I just like authentic people. It's cool. I get the promoter thing. If I was a man and I was young, I'd probably be a promoter as well. But
I feel like it's hit or miss with promoters. So I feel like some will be like, do your own thing, whatever. Yeah. And then there's other ones where maybe they are
promoters
nice.
Out there, we love you.
Yeah, we love a promoter.
But for the record, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think to that, there are that's why there is like so many different promoters. Right. Because their personality fits different people's personalities. Most of the people that used to like go out with me or whatever, I have this personal relationship with, where they actually are friends with me.
Yeah, for sure.
And so and the ones that are not, I don't act like they're my best friends. I'm it's a very transactional relationship. Hey, like you want to go out?
Yeah.
You're going to have a good time
like
and you're going to be safe and you're not going to have any issues and you're going to be taken care of, but you're not my fucking best friend.
Yeah.
100%. So that's but then there is that group of also promoters that are very good salesmen.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I'm a saleswoman too, so I get the mindset, but I just want
get
all
sold
you promoters
easily
out there to know I know what you're doing.
The nice ones, like I get sold easily. I would have never known. I'm always like, oh, they're so sweet.
They're like that to everyone. But unless they really like you and you do build a relationship, like you were saying, I'm not saying that's not genuine, but usually at the start, they're just trying to make that money.
No, I think they're all sociopath.
I thank you. Thank you.
You're right. Yeah. Don't listen to Mo. He's trying to manipulate you right now into liking promoters. It's working. He's like my plan is working.
No, I'm just trying to be agreeable.
A promoter.
Actually, it's interesting because I think it is so I started selling insurance when I was 18. And that experience through like 18 to 20, I was cold calling through Yellow Pages, which I don't know if you guys know what that is. But, okay, yeah. So you would basically just like open the book and then like put your finger in the middle of the book and just like call and, cold call and try to sell. And that experience taught me a lot. But then once I started promoting, that was a completely, I guess, like an upgrade into trying to understand human beings, how to speak with them, how to talk to them, how to sell, how to do all these things. But it teaches you a lot with regards to just overall how to interact. And that's very useful just in life, regardless of what it is that you do.
I agree with that, yeah.
So, in your experience, again, with your brand, especially because this is, now your baby and like something that you're developing, this is, you're going to go through all of these up and downs of, the process of trying to get this to the next level. So
I'm already there where I'm trying to like make it like, advertising, how advertising.
And there's going to come a time that you're going to talk to influencers or whatever that do have pull and are big, and you're going to have to act like they're your best friend because that's the only thing that makes people tick.
What if I actually could be their best friend?
So what would you do? Let's say there's a person 10 million followers, right?
I already am having my good girlfriend who has like 3 million followers who's promoting it. So
awesome. But let's say you run into someone 10 million followers. You're like, I'm pumped about this. You meet them in person and you're like, oh man, this person is kind of like, all their shit is bullshit. Like they're like so nice on Instagram. Are you going to say no? Like, don't pitch my product because I don't like you? Or are you going to be like,
Well,
yeah, like I won't be friends with you, but yeah, you should still post this shit.
I certainly am going to be agreeable and very charming, but I'm not going to be like, oh my God, like we like something about us. Like I feel like we were meant to meet each other. Like the promoters are talking like that. They're like, I know I should have met you for a reason or something. I'm like, oh my God, save it.
The promoter's like, it was a full moon that night, and our chakras are aligned.
2:22 on the clock, and I knew.
I just got my new amethyst stone, and it told me that we were meant to be.
That's funny. I actually used that 222 on the clock, and I met you. That's a good one.
That is a good one, actually. Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna say. I do have one of my products listed as $44.44, but I'm not gonna elaborate.
Manipulator. Manipulation. You should be a promoter.
I am a promoter.
I guess in a way, yeah.
I promote elaborate.
There you go.
I think anybody who has their own business is a promoter.
Yeah.
You know, anybody that does anything.
It's a good question. I think I always kind of like sold little trinkets since I was young. Like I'm a painter, so I would always be selling my paintings. And then also I used to sell clothes online on like the different platforms and whatnot, like Etsy and all that stuff. I was always just into like the dopamine you get from like putting a little bit of work into something, and then you get like really good payout for it, and it's great for your lifestyle.
Packaging the little packages.
Yeah. So I was like, and then I was like, wanted to start something I really resonated with, like I explained earlier, and want to scale it to a really big place. So that's why, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. How did you choose like hair and skin oil?
I remember touching on it a little bit, just because I'm very into skincare, and very into skincare, and then like
I do remember
the
now.
stuff with it's a big grab for people when they're balding. You know, they see the product, they have to.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to people.
You should meet a couple of our friends. Yeah, you should meet a couple of our friends.
Yeah, I'll give them a PR package.
Yeah, bring some brochures next time we all hang out. You know, come to a party, bring some brochures in your purse, and we can sell some people on the spot. You know,
you start doing before and afters for them, like on them.
Mm-hmm.
You give it to them and then have them make it before and after.
For sure.
See if their balding clears up. I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see before and after. Because then maybe I'll give it to my dad.
I would love to give one to your dad.
Yeah. He needs it.
He needs it.
All right. Final question. Is the green bubble a red flag?
Is the what?
The green bubble. Is it a red flag?
Some guy, you get his number. He texts you. The bubble is green. When
yours is green.
Uh-huh.
Instant red flag.
Let's go. Let's go.
I do think like it's not a red flag, but I am like, they don't have an iPhone. but I'm
like,
not
it might be a scammer. Okay.
No, I'm like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's fine. Like,
I guess he's texting me on text free right now. Like,
yeah, every time I see the green bubble, I'm like, what third world app is he gonna try to get me to download so I can play?
What phone do you have?
Samsung Galaxy. It's 24.
Do you
it's
like
the last
it?
one.
Can you zoom into the
It's
moon?
It's the most amazing phone you've ever had.
Every time Mo sends me a video, I'm like, is this a party or is this like World War II footage?
Did you guys see
tell.
the crazy thing about the moon zooming into the moon? Did you guys see that?
Yep. He denies it. He denies it. It is totally
Samsung
true.
User.
It is,
but it's not true. You could do it with my phone.
Manipulator, just like his phone. Just like his phone.
So do your videos like look that bad on your phone too?
That's an iPhone issue, not a Samsung issue.
My stepdad has like a phone similar to yours. He sends us the videos or like any picture that we take with the family on his phone. My mom now will be like, can we please take it on my phone? Because every time you send it to us,
it looks like crayon.
Yeah, like it looks
it's because
so bad.
It's because Apple specifically has refused to update their system. So then what ends up happening is the messages that we send to the iPhone users look like that because your system shrinks the quality in order to receive the message.
I'm always like, this is from the 1900s.
Yeah, no, that's not.
No, I'm the same way.
That's not
Every
us
time he comes
problem.
over, I make sure he has like a case on it. So if he drops his phone, he doesn't damage my floor with that brick.
Not with the brick. That's so terrible. Yeah,
it's okay to have a green bubble.
I love
everyone with the green bubbles are like, the specs are better. The specs are better. You know
what? Heck yeah. Better.
I'll never end up with a man with a green bubble.
Yeah. If I was a girl, I would do the same thing. I would do
I'll never be with a man with the green bubble.
Men with
on
green
their phone.
bubbles are the guys who use 3-in-1 shampoo.
I just
you
know
what I
our personalities won't like
mean? Yeah.
go well
Mesh.
together. Yeah.
Uh.
No, we'll be arguing about Apple and Samsung.
Yeah, yeah. And then you're gonna get the text. The Americans just built a well in our.
My brother
third
was
world
like that
country."
for forever, and he finally caved and got Apple. Finally.
And then you can have a group chat finally.
Yeah,
Without
finally.
Mo liked the message showing
Yeah,
up,
why do
you
I
know?
keep getting
Yeah.
Mo heart and attachment? It's
Yeah.
just a message.
My attachment. And then they have the little the Down syndrome emojis. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like melting.
They look old.
They look the
They look
ugly
like old
emojis. Yeah.
emojis.
Well, thank you guys for being honest and open and
Yeah,
Of
candid.
course. It was so
Happy-
much fun.
Happy Women's Day. And
Happy International Women's Day. And what? Oh, happy going out night.
Going out night.
Saturday night.
Saturday.
Lane's going home.
Going to my
She ain't be going out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.